they get up? What time did they get up? Interesting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Another beautiful rainy day here at where I'm at. Headed back to the apartment to start my day at work. I've got my hair up in a man bun in an effort to curl it later on, so about halfway through the day I take it out and I don't have to do anything with my hair. It makes life a lot easier when it's long. So we'll see how it goes. Life is an interesting thing. Oftentimes we find ourselves looking at a number of different circumstances that we're faced with every day. And then we try to make choices to put us in better positions. What's tricky, or what I found that's tricky, is then taking those decisions and choices that you think about and actually following through on them. It's a weird thing where oftentimes I'll think of the right thing to do, the best thing to do, the most logical thing to do, but at the end of the day I don't do it. I may start it, but I don't actually kind of complete it. And not always. Sometimes I do exactly what I should do, exactly how I should do it. Other times, not so much. Other times, I see it as if I'm struggling a bit for one reason or another. And it could be due to a lack of willpower. It could be due to a lack of, I don't know. I don't know for sure, to be honest with you. All I know is that I need reminders, but I don't need others to remind me. I need to remind myself. Dog with hair. See, that's right. Dog with hair. That's Chloe. That's Chloe with long black hair. Yeah, dog with hair is always good. But anywho, I'm okay, man. I'm okay. How are you? I'm hanging in there. I'm headed back to the apartment so I can work. Just talking about life, just thinking out loud. Oftentimes these sorry, a message popped up on my phone. I got distracted. Okay, so ultimately, new art. That's what's up. What kind of art are we talking about? Speaking of art, I do have some art I also want to kind of do as well. I have some ideas on some stuff I want to try. Stuff with spray paint mostly. We'll see how it goes. I have some I wonder how I can do that. I just thought of something and I'm not sure how I can do it. Maybe I can. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud of ways to accomplish certain things. Stuff that's popping in my head. But anyways, I find myself as these driving streams don't get a ton of attention, right? There's not a ton of people coming to these streams. and that's okay. But I find myself kind of using them as almost like a journal for myself. You know, a way to vent and get stuff out of my head. Kind of a chronological progression of where my headspace is day to day. It's interesting. It's interesting if I look back at this stuff, and I don't know if I ever will. I know I have. I've looked at previous streams before, but seldom do I ever really go back. So some kind of drawing art and stuff, that's cool, man. Are you filming that for your channel? It's very rainy where I'm at. My neck of the woods, very rainy. Yes, most certainly. It's easier, it's less crazy than talking to yourself, because in essence, I am talking to myself. You know what I mean? There's been many times where no one showed up, or if they were, no one was interacting in chat, and I'm just talking. But that's what it's going to be like when we do the podcast. Because I want to do something unique with the podcast. I don't want to just do a podcast. And I have these ideas, and some of them, I don't know if they're going to come to fruition or not. So we'll see. I have a few ideas. One of the ideas I have is I'm going to try to interview or talk to other small YouTubers. Smaller channels that are bigger than mine. You know, like Taste Gaming, Omar Sabali, The Game Salmon. You know, channels that have 10,000 plus subscribers. Maybe even Soft Baby Toes. I mean, she's over, what's going on, Assassinated? Long time no see. Yeah, one of these drive streams. These are different, you know, we're just mixing things up. You could be on it, RT, absolutely. Absolutely, it doesn't have to be larger ones. It's just the idea, that's what popped in my head, because some of the stuff I want to talk to them about is what they found made them successful. What was the point where they noticed the transition? What was the video that did it? What was the content that they put out where they first saw that transition take place? And then the same thing, I can talk to people that are even smaller channels and say, hey, what has been your biggest challenge? Now, I would imagine that the challenges that you're facing are similar to the challenge that we're all facing. Getting noticed, you know, getting people to come back, making content consistently that you're happy with. That's my biggest thing, is making content that I'm happy with, that I can do consistently. Finding a consistent workflow, so I'm not recording 45 minutes of, let's say, gameplay and editing it for 5 hours. You know what I mean? That's not practical. That's difficult. That's not right. Something like that. I mean, it's not so much I'm trying to perfect it, but I am curious. I want to see what these other creators are saying, especially these smaller creators, because you know, you would think you'd get more insight from a big creator like a Markiplier or a PewDiePie or somebody like that, but I don't think you would. I really don't think you would, because right now, Markiplier can put out any video he wants, doing anything, and it'll get over 1 million views. PewDiePie can put out any video he wants right now, and he'll get over 1 million views. That's the place they're at. So they're no longer trying to grow their audience. They are trying to supplement or maintain what they have. And for them, maintaining that is just pumping out consistent content, not necessarily high quality content. Now, Markiplier once in a while will bust out with like a big series or something like that, and he's trying to innovate. He most certainly is trying to innovate, but he has the benefit of having an established audience. So if whatever he does isn't great, it will still appear great. This is why you see other channels that mimic these larger channels not be successful. Like, well, I did exactly what they did. How come it didn't blow up? Well, it's because this channel's fucking huge. It has a built-in audience. So even if what he did or her or whatever did, it's gonna get attention no matter what. Well, hello there, RT Overdrive, Extreme Kathleen Turner Overdrive's girlfriend. I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing that I think about. And that's why with my content, when I do put it out, either it's short form and stupid, or it's more editing and taking, you know, like the videos, like the stream compilations I did. It sounds so dumb when you watch it, you go, oh, this is a 10-minute video of just, yeah, channel as well, gaming, but I look at stuff as well. Exactly the research as well. Yeah, it's one of those things where I like to kind of see how these channels operate. But what always bothers me, excuse me, what really bothers me is you come across YouTube and you'll see a lot of these channels make videos about how to grow on YouTube, how to get noticed on YouTube. And it's like, listen, the channels are much bigger than mine. Be safe, RT. Yeah, when you build a relationship with an audience and you have a certain level of trust, you need to follow through on stuff. And I'm guilty of that myself. You know, even being a smaller channel, there are things that I've done, things I've attempted to do, promises that have been made that I haven't followed through on. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes there are factors that absolutely, networking, good luck is definitely one of those things. I also think the one thing I have found that holds true to me, and I'm no expert, but I have experienced moments of growth for a small channel, what was pretty good growth for a very small channel. You know, it's just on different scales. You know, growth for a channel with 1 million subscribers is 10,000, 12,000 subscribers in a day. That's big, good growth. When you're a smaller channel, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 subscribers in a couple of days is good growth. But what I find interesting sometimes is how some of these things unfold. I know for our channel, the one thing I found that has helped promote growth has been consistency. Consistent. Man, it is dark out right now. You can't tell because I have a low light camera on my phone and it's brightening things up, but it's dark. It is cloudy and dark. Like this is almost nighttime dark. And it's only 8:30 in the morning. Anyways, I see these patterns kind of arise, and I see the stuff the traps that I kind of fell into. I believe it, Assassinated. I believe it. Yeah, the East Coast right now is getting hit with some storms. But I find a lot of these things are very, 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 very interesting. So with the podcast, talking to the larger channels, not big channels, but larger channels, I do want to see what was the turning point for them. What happened where they go, whoa, this is working. With the Game Salmon, for example, I've watched his content. I haven't watched it lately. Shame on me, that's not cool. But I have watched his content, and I watched the transition happen. For him, he started playing the cartoon-based horror games. So, starting with, I believe it was like I think it was through Microwave, Dave's Microwave Games or whatever, like the very blocky horror games, like I think it was Dora the Explorer, Scooby-Doo, all these different things. And then he was playing like these animated FNAF games like Sonic FNAF, and it was all cartoonish. And that's where he started being really consistent and his channel started to grow. Now, was it the content or the way he goes about it? He also made a comment during one of his streams I thought was interesting. And if I was much younger, I would probably do the same thing. He made a comment that during one of his streams that he notices the videos where he screams tend to get more views and more likes. And he goes, so I guess I'll have to scream more in more videos. And I thought that was really interesting. Not that he noticed it, because of course, I mean, when you make content, you're paying very close attention to where you seem to be getting reactions. You know, if someone leaves a comment, what's the comment about? Is it about one section of the video, or is it about the video as a whole? Oh, it's about one section. Oh, there's another comment about this same section. So then you start to see, okay, this is where the audience is coming from. I missed the last sentence of your post. I'll try to catch it here. I'm driving, so it's hard to... Oh, absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned that. I've talked about this many times. So I got burned out playing Five Nights at Freddy's based games. Because that's all I was playing for a long time, was FNAF fan games for the longest time. To where every stream I'd be playing like 4 different games of Five Nights at Freddy's based games or fan games of some kind. And I enjoyed it because there was a lot of good ones. When the good ones started running out, then I'm playing some more mediocre ones, and I was trying to find stuff and really having to dig to find something I thought was good, and I would start something and it was terrible, and I got really burned out on it. So then I started playing other games, and I watched the concurrent viewers in the channel drop drastically when I wasn't playing FNAF-based games. So there was a couple of streams where I didn't update the game category. I left it as Five Nights at Freddy's just out of sheer laziness. And then everybody that would come to the stream would be like, this isn't FNAF, this isn't FNAF. And then I kind of started to find it funny. And then it kind of became a meme for the channel, is that the game category always says FNAF. Now, in some cases, I do update it. If I'm playing a brand new AAA title, like when I play the new Resident Evil, I'll probably change the gaming category to Resident Evil. But there's little things like that. And I find myself doing it, and I almost do it out of spite at this point. I'm like, fuck you, then don't stay. I don't know, I guess the way I look at it is twofold. When I look up games, I guess maybe it's the way I use YouTube, and maybe that's part of it. I don't... The FNAF games are harsh and cute. Yeah, and again, I have nothing... I don't think there's anything wrong with jumping on a trend and trying to do that. I still like Five Nights at Freddy's based games. I want to play all of them, especially the good ones. The fan-based ones. I most certainly do, but what happened, I was getting burned out on it, and then I found that the only people that were coming just for FNAF-based games. They weren't coming for the community aspect. They were role-playing, which is fine, but they were role-playing in the chat. They all had FNAF tags, their names were all FNAF-based characters or some sort of ties to Five Nights at Freddy's. And I realized we were a Five Nights at Freddy's channel. That's what it became, or what it was becoming. And I'm like, well, I like a lot of horror games. I like horror games. I like horror stuff. So then I started pivoting. I remember it like it was yesterday. So we got suspended on YouTube, and I was on Twitch exclusively for 90 days. Then I came back on YouTube, and I remember when I was on Twitch, we were playing, oh my gosh, it was a Five Nights at Freddy's game after Ultimate Custom Night. And I was playing that on Twitch consistently, and it was doing good. Then we got on YouTube, and I started trying to finish that off. I was trying to be one of the first people to beat it, to do the 50-50. And I was so close. I think I did pretty well, personally. I think I got to 40, I forget, 40-something. Anyways, and then like I said, I remember, like it was yesterday, our concurrent viewers prior to the YouTube suspension, concurrent meaning at one time, on our streams, we averaged 22 people concurrent. So by the time the stream was over, there'd be like 400 or 500 views per stream at the end of it. Our average was 20 to 22 concurrent viewers. After the suspension happened and came back, we lost a chunk of those people that weren't coming back. And then we were averaging 12 to 14 concurrent viewers per stream. I take that back, I'm sorry. For the first week, we were about 18, 19 concurrent viewers at one time. Then I decided I wanted to play The Evil Within 2. And I was playing it every stream. And I remember when I was titling the videos, I would say The Evil Within 2 and then some fan game of FNAF. And my intention was to play both, but I was really getting in to playing The Evil Within 2. And I'm like, I'm just playing The Evil Within 2. And then I started just putting The Evil Within 2 in the title. Then I watched the concurrent viewers range anywhere from 10 to 14. Then I was playing through that game, then it dropped to about 10 on average, concurrent. I mean, it would jump up periodically, but concurrent, like consistently, it was about 10 to 11. And then it kind of stayed that way for a while. And then something else changed. I'm trying to find these moments of change. I think it was when I wasn't playing Five Nights at Freddy's for a long stretch of time. And the viewership started changing. Now our concurrent was about 8. And then 7. And then now, when we're doing like gaming streams, it's less than 10. So we've been consistently concurrent less than 10. Oh no, there are times our channel did very, very well concurrent. I mean, there's been many streams where I had 50, 60 people concurrent, you know, but that wasn't long. You know, I'm talking about averages over the course of a month or a week. I know one of our streams got like 39,000 views, one of the streams. We had one point like 180 people there at one time. Like that stream was booming. I mean, that wasn't a FNAF game. That was shit. What's the game that was released a couple years ago where you're running through like a maze and those goof-ass monkeys, the knife hands are chasing you? Shit. I can see the thumbnail in my head. And it went in chapters. Chapter 1 was the monkeys. Chapter 2 was the young girl in the school. It's driving me nuts. Dark Deception, thank you. Yes, Dark Deception. Dark Deception, those couple streams blew up and those videos afterwards blew up. But in all honesty, Assassinate, I've gotten to the point now, I'm going through a big change. I'm moving in with my girlfriend, slowly but surely over the course of the next probably 2 months. And during that time, I've been doing a lot of these driving streams where I'm just talking and stuff because I work from home. So I leave her house, I have about a 45-minute drive to get back to my apartment so I can work. So in the morning, unless I'm getting up even earlier, and I get up at 5, it's difficult to make it early enough to where I can settle in, stream a good amount of time to get ready and go to work. And then as soon as I get off, I'm leaving my apartment and going back to the house, 45 minutes. And then she gets up at 4 in the morning, gets off of work at like 2 to 3. So it's this weird flux of trying to find enough time to balance these things on the weekends. We're crazy busy. But once I'm living there, I'll have more time to do these streams the way I want to and spend more time editing and making stuff. And I have a lot of cool things, I think, on the horizon. And I'm not trying to be a giant, huge channel. I have no intention of ever becoming some huge thing. If it happens, cool. You know, I'll deal with it and we'll make the best of it. But in the long run, that's not what I'm trying to accomplish. I am trying to grow the channel. I am trying to get a pretty good sized audience to the point where I can focus my attention exclusively on making content as my primary source of income and stuff like that. That would be sufficient for me. And I think depending on what kind of content I'm making, that's probably going to be like the 100,000 subscriber mark. You know, once you get that first plaque from YouTube and you're verified, it seems as though the algorithm is a bit nicer to you, and that's when you'll kind of see the most growth. Well, Assassin, you're very kind to say all that. It means a lot to me. I know That's the other thing too. You know, we all have life that we're dealing with. You know, we all got shit we got to focus on and address. Oh, I didn't put any lotion on my face today. I knew something felt different. I knew my face felt weird. Oh, 1 second. What I find a lot of times when I'm going through this stuff, I've done quite a bit with. It's hard to articulate what I mean. I've spent a lot of time and focused a lot of energy on trying to make the most out of bad situations or situations that aren't great. I'm getting pretty good at it. And I'm content with making streams and making content, even if the channel doesn't grow and become lucrative. I mean, there was a point where the channel had good growth and it looked like that was going to happen. But because I got cocky and thought I knew everything, I got the channel suspended for 90 days because I was showing clips of Saturday Night Live during my streams, like for NBC Universal, and they blocked all my shit. And then YouTube eventually gave me a 90-day suspension. That was the turning point for the channel, where everything kind of went new and just kind of transitioned, started trending downward. That's when I noticed it. And that's on me. But I know that I'm capable of a lot. If I can kind of harness and focus myself, if I can focus my energy properly, I know that I can have a bit of growth. But it remains to be seen because I'm not 100% sure. But I feel confident I can do it. I feel confident I can do it. It's just a matter of actually executing on it. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to stop and get breakfast. By the way, we got any new faces here. Thank you for swinging by. We're just chatting, driving. Nothing fancy. Going to get some breakfast. Feel free to subscribe, become my new best friend. Stick your fingers inside the like button. Or if not, that's okay too. This is just a bit of chatting as I drive back to my apartment to go to work because I work from home. But I primarily stay with my girlfriend. So I have it's so funny. I was talking to somebody at work yesterday. This guy is, I'm a supervisor, and he's becoming a supervisor, so he's shadowing me and kind of watching my day. And I made a little joke. I go, you know, it's funny. I work from home, yet I commute 45 minutes one way every single day. It's kind of funny. Everyone's like, oh man, working from home, you're saving money, you're doing this, you're doing that. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I have this SPF 70 facial lotion I put on. Sunscreen, but it's really good moisturizer. And hopefully maintain my youthful appearance. Because after losing all the weight I lost, like these lines, like my laugh lines became more prominent because my cheeks were puffy, you know? And it sounds really dumb, but I'm worried about that stupid shit. So stupid. All right, I'm getting rained on now. My window's getting rained on. Stand by a second. I'm going to order some food. Stand by. Hold on. I'm going to watch how Master orders breakfast.
Good morning. Thank you for choosing Wendy's. How can we help you today?
Yes, can I please have the number 5 meal, the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit meal?
Yeah, what would you like to drink for that today?
Can I have that large with the Sprite Zero?
Okay.
And can I also have an order of the sausage
Gravy and
gravy? Yes, indeed.
Come around second window. We'll have
Thank you.
for you there.
Okay. I would come here pretty much every day, so this guy knows me at this point. All right, hold on a second.
You did say large for that combo, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I'm going to have to start coming with a different order to trip you up a little bit. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're 52 total.
All right. It is raining hard right now. I don't like it. Oh, thank you. right. Thank you.
How can I help you today? I do tenant everything.
Okay, let me roll my window a little bit. Now, luckily, my phone, another thing, financial stuff. That's another thing I have to focus on because I am a spender. I spend money. I spend a lot of money. I was thinking about this the other day. I know, right? It's weird. It's a weird dynamic, Assassin. I know what you're saying. Seeing like when you lose weight or something like that changes in your life, how you kind of notice it. But just an example so you guys understand about when I say I spend a lot of money. Last week, I spent $900 just last week. Now 230 of that was bills. The rest, I don't know what the fuck I spent it on. I really don't. Like, I don't really have anything from it. And I'm trying to figure out, how did I spend $900? It's really stupid. That is ridiculous. I'm not sure how I did it. I mean, if I sat down and really thought about it, I could break it down, of course. I could look at my transaction records and stuff. But I gotta force myself to do things, or else I won't do them. Oh, thank you so much.
Today.
You too.
Yeah.
All right. Ugh, that's awful. Well, but you got something out of it, right? You got a VR setup. You know, you got some equipment that you can use. That's pretty cool, right? That's what I mean, is that you have something that you can continue to utilize. I don't know what I did. I mean, I didn't go grocery shopping, right? I spent, off the top of my head, if I try to think about it, I bought 2 replacement batteries for some 18-volt Ryobi tools. So, for example, I have this 18-volt weed whacker and blower, and it came with 1 battery. I'm like, well, I want some other batteries, but I don't want to spend $130 on 2 Ryobi 18-volt batteries. So I'm going to try to buy like an off-brand and see if it works. And I bought these 2 4 milliamp batteries. Are they 4 milliamp or 6 milliamp? I think they're 4 milliamp batteries for a much lower price than you would think to spend. And they work, but I can notice there's a power issue. It powers the units, but it's not as powered. It feels like it's like the cartridge fits, but it's not truly giving off 18 volts of power, it seems. And I could test it, but then it just involves so much effort. I feel like if I do anything interesting, I have to film it. And there's so many things I filmed that I haven't put on the internet. Like, I customized a bunch of these glasses and did all this stupid shit, and I recorded it but never edited it, never put it online. And I'm going to start just doing that. So very soon you're going to start seeing this random content. Yeah, well, you know, I'll say this, because I think you can relate to this, Assassinated. There's a lot of shit in this world. And there's a lot of garbage and responsibilities as an adult we have to deal with. You know, work, bills, life, and it's hard. It's not easy. You know, I listen to these kids complain about school, and it's like, man, if I could go back, knowing what I know now, and be in high school again, I mean, tricky. I mean, with COVID, everything's different, but my point is, the responsibility was so different when I didn't have the responsibility of adulthood. I didn't have those things. It wasn't a big stressful thing. But I don't know, I find it interesting to hear people whine about it. But anyways, you can relate to this. So every once in a while, it is nice to do something for yourself. You know what I mean? To acquire something like a VR headset or setup. You go, you know what? I spent a lot of money on this, and I probably could have put that money in the bank, and I probably could have paid bills with it, and made life a little bit easier for me over the upcoming next few weeks. And that's true. But there's a balance to it. There are people that want to save every single penny, and they'll keep it in the bank, and they just sit on it, and they don't do anything with it. They pay their bills, and they just live their life, and they pinch pennies the whole time. That's cool. But at the same time, it's good to have money just in case, of course. But I don't live to work. I work in order to live. I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. So if I'm working, I don't want to be a materialistic person. I don't have to have material items. I'll go out to dinner and get a $40 fucking stupid steak and a froofy drink and spend $150 on a dinner for me and my girlfriend or something. Because I want to enjoy myself. You know, it's a small little moment and that dinner's gone, but I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to just throw money away. But at the same time, I also don't want to not enjoy life, if that makes sense. So the point I'm getting at, or the point I'm trying to make, is I understand where you're coming from. You know, you spend some money, a good chunk of change on the VR stuff for you and the kids or whatever. Well, you know, I don't. My girlfriend is very fiscally responsible. She is really good with money. She is good stretching out money. She's very detail oriented. She knows what she wants and she executes on her plans very well. Very well. And I love her for that. I'm on the other side, or the other end of the spectrum, right? I am very spontaneous. I am unpredictable, and I can change on a whim. But I also think that's what gives our relationship some flavor. Some people might think that's a detriment, or that'll cause problems, and it does, and it can, and it most certainly will. We've butted heads on stupid stuff before. I often talk about things I want to do, things I want to buy, things I want to attempt, things I want to try. I'm constantly talking about new things I want to do. Now, when I tell her this stuff, in her head, she's seeing price tags. She's seeing time. She's seeing effort. She's seeing priorities. What's priority? That's not a priority. This is the priority. You know what I mean? She's breaking these things down in her head as I'm talking to her about it. And I'm telling her, like, listen, I'm just spitballing. These are things that eventually I want to try or do or experience. And sometimes we have to actually have a discussion about having a discussion so she understands where I'm coming from, that it's not me saying, hey, this idea I just said is priority. It's just me talking about something I may want to do, or I think we should do, or whatever. So she's starting to get an understanding of how I operate like that, and I'm getting an understanding of how she views things when they are presented to her. So there's a balance. Exactly, Assassin. What's up, Cap? How's life treating you, man? Good to see you. But the dynamic between me and my girlfriend, I also like that we can learn from one another because of that. Because of her fiscal responsibility, because of her fiduciary capabilities, I will learn to fix some of these problem areas that I have. And I also think that the way I live my life, I will also help her enjoy some of the things that she would normally experience in her life. You know, health is one of those things. You know, my dad always says that without your health, if you don't have your health, you won't have joy in life. A lack of health will suck the joy out of your life. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the things you want, but without joy, or without your health, you can't really experience joy. Like, I remember one time I was talking about, you know, I've been very open about my addiction issues with opiates and heroin and stuff like that. And I remember I had a surgery and I got some pain pills, and I've since overcome these issues, and I took the pain pills, and it wasn't a big deal. I took them as prescribed. I actually didn't finish them because they weren't doing shit. But I remember making a comment to someone like, oh yeah, put me on these oxys. And they go, oh shit, oxy, bro, that's fucking sweet, man. oh, dude, you should hook me up. Give me this, give me that. Oh, man, that'd be so sweet, blah, blah, blah. And so you understand something. When you actually need the drug, when you are actually in pain pills aren't fun. You know what I mean? Like, when you're actually in pain, you're not getting the enjoyment from them. I'm sure if you take enough of them, you'll feel whatever. But when you actually need something, it takes the joy out of it. If I didn't have my health, I was in a lot of pain. So I couldn't, quote unquote, enjoy taking the meds and get a buzz and have a good time and blah, blah, blah. Because I was in pain. So when I took them, I was still in pain. It wasn't fun. You know what I mean? And the same thing applies to all things in life. You can have all the money in the world to buy all the items you want, but if you're suffering from intense pain and headaches every day, you can't even enjoy it because the focus is those headaches, is that pain. My girlfriend, after dealing with COVID and getting, I think I'm very surprised I didn't get it, but anyway, she got COVID. Now she has no sense of smell, no taste still. She gets olfactory hallucinations, meaning she smells stuff that's not there. She'll smell smoke constantly. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever smelled strong smoke, but it gags you. Imagine that 24 hours a day. That's what she deals with. Now she's getting these excruciating headaches. She was diagnosed with spontaneous intracranial hypotension, basically holes in her spinal column. They've done all these MRIs. They're having a hard time finding these holes because they have to do what's called blood patching to fill the holes up. Now, because those MRIs were inconclusive, they're talking about doing a myeloangiogram or a myelo whatever, but basically they get this big hollow needle, like an 8-gauge needle, they stick it into the spine to inject this special contrast so they can do a CT scan and view everything in much greater detail. They see the blood vessels, everything, so they can kind of map it out in a 3D environment to try and find where it's leaking from. Meanwhile, they found a bunch of, in the MRIs, they didn't find the holes, but they found a bunch of, what's it called? Goodness gracious. Nodules on her thyroid gland. A bunch of potentially tumors on her thyroid. So she's dealing with a lot, and we've been waiting for months to go get these MRIs and get the results to potentially get this blood patching, because every day she now deals with extreme migraines and cluster headaches. I have migraines, and I've been very lucky in that when I started wearing blue removal glasses, I haven't had a migraine in 2 years. Then, about a week ago, I started getting one. I couldn't see out of my left eye. I went blind in my left eye. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a migraine. And I panicked, took a bunch of meds, and I went to bed instantly. I was very lucky that it happened right before bed so I could lay down, and I was able to power through and sleep. But she's never experienced migraines before. She doesn't know what it's like. Now she's getting them every single day. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced a real migraine. I'm not talking a bad headache, a migraine. Whole different ball game. It's terrible. You can't function. And she is so tough. Tougher than me. I couldn't do what she does. She's still going to work every day. And she works reading like engineering drawings and setting up orders for casting different metals and materials for large manufacturers. So like GM needs some large bronze cylinder to go into some machine, some robotic arm. Her company makes that type of stuff. They make the machine parts for the big companies. So they make the parts for the companies that manufacture the parts, if that makes sense. They make the parts for the parts. So if a company needs to manufacture screws, they would manufacture the parts for the machines to manufacture those screws. You understand what I'm saying? They cast materials. And she handles these orders through these companies and reading these engineering drawings and measurement. Anyway, she does all this stuff. So next to where she works, there's a foundry. There's all these sections of this building. It's very loud. And for anybody that's experienced a migraine before, they know that sound sensitivity is way up there, and it's excruciating, and she does it every single fucking day. Yeah, like a reverse spinal tap. Yeah. And I'm sorry that your mom's dealing with that. That's awful, Assassinated. I'm sorry. I really am. Seeing what she's going through. Okay, so there you go. So you know how loud it can be. And as a result, it's expanding or adding to the pain. It's adding to the sensitivity. She's struggling because of it. She goes to work every single day. Still gets her job done. Still handles her shit. What's up, K-Man? And I don't know if I could do that. If I was getting migraines every day and cluster headaches every day, I don't think I could do it. I really don't. I don't know if there's different levels of migraines. When I get mine, I can't work. There's no way. I can't hear sound. I can't see light. If I see light, I'll vomit. You know what I mean? I remember one time I got a migraine. I was driving on the highway, and I started losing vision in my left eye. I'm like, holy shit, I have to leave. And I was at like an appointment or something. And I got in my car and I was driving, and it started coming on, and it was the daytime. And then it was right before dusk, or before nighttime. It was still technically day, and I remember as I was driving, it was a little brighter. And then it got dark as I was driving home, because I had like an hour drive, and it was dark outside. I had to put sunglasses on because the headlights from cars were making me sick, and I literally was puking on myself, driving, going, bleh. It was just awful. But that's neither here nor there. I just got to the point where, I don't know, I was able to find a solution that worked for me. But for her, you know, this wasn't something she dealt with. This all happened as a result of COVID, or what took place after COVID. And, you know, these doctors' offices are not providing any real solutions. And she's having a hard time. She doesn't want to go back to the... Oh, I got water right in my eyeball. She doesn't want to go back to the doctors because they're not giving her any definitive answers. But sadly, those are the ones that are going to be doing it. Yeah, I don't know how, that's what I'm saying, man. I deal with migraines and cluster headaches, and I haven't had them in a very long time. I'm very, very fortunate. And the fact that she does it, she is a badass. I can honestly say that if I was getting migraines every single day, legit migraines, legit. A lot of people will say migraines and all I have is a bad headache, but legit migraines like she's getting, I couldn't do it. I mean, she is, and it sucked all the energy out of her, you know what I mean? It's sucking the life out of her, it's sucking the joy out of her life. And I love her so much, and I hate to see her struggle. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there are different reasons that put people on that path, you know? But that's neither here nor there. I am arriving at my destination. I'm very close now. So I want to thank you, Assassinated, RT, K-Man, everyone that stopped by. We have some other people here that aren't talking in chat, so I don't know who's here. But thank you guys for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it with mine. It means the world. So I hope to see you guys again. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, if not tonight, but it means a lot. So I hope that I will see you guys soon. Be safe. I'm Audi5000 and a bucket of cat heads. You stay epic. I'll stay me, baby, me. Until next time, I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.